So there was this one time when we were doing STEM scopes where we got to light stuff on fire, very cautiously though. Mr. Okuley supervised us.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of the SMA Audio Experience Podcast. We have a special episode this week that's a little different than past episodes. What we're actually doing is in the next week or two, we're going to be actually promoting a new event called See What It's Like to basically be like an SMA Angel. And what do we mean by that? What we mean by that is if you ever wondered what it would be like for your child or your children to experience a day at St. Michael Academy, they'll have the actually opportunity to go ahead and do that if it works for them. I know that some schools are going to be going on spring break, or if during spring break that doesn't work for you or your family, you can always go ahead and call into the office, schedule time, speak with our amazing office manager, Mrs. Rowena Lewis, on the phone. You can come see her in person, or you can send her an email. We're going to go ahead and include that information in the podcast show notes. But without further ado, what I wanted to go ahead and do is introduce some of the students who will be joining us as our podcast guests on this week's episode. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the microphone, and I'm actually to give everybody who's listening to this, and for those who get to see this on video, I'm on my lunch break, so I'm not on the clock at my work. I work a standard 9-to-5 job, and the students who you see on the video camera over here, they're actually in class in one of the classrooms in Mr. Okuley's class. So without further ado, hey students, hey guys, can you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Korina and I am in 7th grade. Hi, my name is Jaelynn and I'm in 7th grade as well.
Hi, my name is Tyler Martino and I'm in 7th grade.
Hi, my name is Zachary and I'm in 8th grade.
All right, so we're going to get straight to our topic of this week's episode, which is, obviously we're going to be having the opportunity for people to be guests, like students, to go check out what a whole school day would be like at St. Michael Academy. But I'm going to go ahead and ask that question of each one of you, and I wanted to get each one of your takes on what it's like being at St. Michael Academy for a day. So Zach, you're in 8th grade. You're going to be graduating this year. You're one of the the class, the big class on campus. What's a day like for you at St. Michael?
A day like at our class is pretty, sometimes it's all quiet, but most of the time it's all loud. And because we're all excited that we have school since we're the graduating class. There's only 11 of us, but still we manage it. And in our class, our homeroom teacher, Miss Enriquez, we play some games to help us learn more. And it's all good.
Cool. How about Tyler? How about you?
A normal day for a 7th grader here, I would say it's like very normal, but you have a lot of fun doing the things that you're supposed to do, like learning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun because we use lots of technology for what we do.
So I'm gonna go ahead and stop you guys right there. So both of you guys so far have mentioned stuff that's fun. So, but if I was wondering what's fun, so Zach, can you give me an example of what's some fun thing that you guys have done in class or outside of class? And same thing for you, Tyler.
So one of our activities, for instance, a few days ago, our teacher made us go in a circle around the classroom, and we were technically doing our homework, but it was a fun way of doing it. So we would have a cup of water, and then she would play music, and then we could get up, make sure not to spill the cup of water while dancing around in a circle, going around the classroom. But the thing is, the cup is above our head, so if we spill, we get a point. And the more points you get means how many cups of water you drink. And when she stops the music, you have to sit down, get your stuff, and continue working.
Okay. Now, was there a lot of water that spilt on the floor?
Not much, but 2 people spilled about 3 cups. And they had to do 3 push-ups and drink 3 of the cups of water.
Nice. Tyler, how about you?
Okay, so a fun thing that we do at school that we learn from is on the Chromebooks. There's a website called Freckle, and on that we get placed into like some categories, and then we do problems on the website based on what they got, the information that they got on our test that we did before.
Okay.
So it's just like a little fun way to learn.
Get some extra practice on things, and
Yeah.
it's kind of individual to each one of you, right? Because the experience that you get may not be the same as your classmates might get, right? It's individualized to you.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and let the ladies take over. So, what is that, Jaelynn? Can you go ahead and take us away with, for you, like, what's a day like at St. Michael Academy for you?
A day in SMA as a seventh grader, Mr. Okuley makes it fun for us to learn, but also breaks it down for us so that we understand each step and what to do for homework and what to understand in our upcoming tests. He gives us these things called learning targets, so that they're basically the main ideas of our tests, and we just study those and practice and learn about those main ideas.
Nice. And do you feel, compared to maybe in the past, like if you're still using like textbooks or other ways of learning, like new material, does that kind of help you learn the material, but then not get bogged down with all the extra stuff that may be confusing, on any particular subject?
It gives us a main idea on what to focus on. So instead of reading the entire chapter and learning every little bit of that chapter,
yes,
you just learn the bits that you need. So if the learning target's about like Jesus' crucifixion, you just learn about that instead of learning about all the other things on what led to his crucifixion and other things like that.
Okay. And do you know, like, does Mr. Okuley, say after a couple of weeks or something, does he kind of tie all those things together, like in different activities, or like how do you go about, or how does he go about, I guess, assessing or testing you guys, or more importantly, showing him or your classmates or your parents, or a combination of all three, that you guys are like learning whatever material or concepts that he wants you guys to make sure that you're solid on, that you know?
Oh, so what we do towards the end, before our test, we usually do skits. So we review everything we learned and we choose a topic to make our skit off of.
Okay.
And then 3 or 4 of us, one of us creates a script and we all practice it.
Nice.
And then when we memorize our lines, we memorize the information that's been taught to us, so that when we perform it, other people learn from us about different things.
Okay, cool. And then Korina, I'm gonna have you go in. I know that being at St. Michael is not just about being in the classroom or going to PE and going to recess. There's other things that go on or that are available to the students as well. I think you're pretty involved in some of the other like arts and activities that's available. Like, what are some things? How does that work into like your school day, right? Like if you're in like choir or student council or some of those other things, like how does that work in to your regular school day or school week at St. Michael's?
So as you said before, I have a lot of stuff going on during the week. And so on my first day, Monday, I have student council or student council meetings.
Right.
And so our counselor is Mr. Okuley, our 7th grade teacher. And so all the board members and representatives, we would gather together and we would create some ideas on what we can do for the school.
Okay.
Sorry. Like for instance, we're planning to do a dance maybe soon, or like Spirit Week or something.
Nice.
And we just want to like have everyone's ideas together and see if we can make something work for the school.
Okay.
And we just want to like have something fun for us to do instead of like staying in the classroom all day just working.
And what is that? Do you find here's a 2-part question. So when you're in student council meeting, right? So obviously there's a lot of communication, a lot of talking, a lot of ideas. What's one tough thing about managing that, and what's one fun thing about managing, that responsibility or being a part of that team?
I'd say the difficult part about managing it is just like keeping up with everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying that's too hard, but I'm just saying because everyone wants to be a part of something.
Yes.
And so also pertaining or participating in that can become complicated because if there's this one idea that everyone loves, they'll just all go to it, and some other people will be able to have a chance to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's probably one of the difficult things for me to manage.
Right.
And I'd say a thing that I enjoy about, taking part of this is when we're interacting with each other. Normally, student council ranges from kids 4th grade to 8th grade,
Mm-hmm.
and normally we don't interact with each other every day.
Okay.
And so student council meetings and student council events are times when we would gather together and we would talk to one another and we would just catch up on another, and we don't normally do that, which is why student council is really enjoyable for me.
Cool. And then, so say if someone, came by the school, they're checking out the school, they're experiencing their day. What other things could they get into? Is there like sports? Is there music? Is there, I don't know, like, I haven't been a student there in a long time, but, you guys will have to refresh my memory of what else you can do over at St. Michael Academy other than being in classroom.
So there's the sports we have here in St. Michael is we have volleyball and basketball.
Okay.
In the beginning of the season or the school year, we have girls volleyball.
Cool.
For girls from 5th through 8th, I think we all play volleyball. And so what's nice about doing volleyball with other kids is that we all get to learn something together. And as girls, we learn from each other. We get one another.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that we just love.
That's cool. Now, with the, did you have some 7th graders who participated in the science fair?
So a recent event that the 7th grade took part in was the science fair. It was, they gathered most of the Catholic schools here in California, and they called each one to see if any of their students would like to participate in the science fair. Mm-hmm. And this year, we the students at SMA came out with 2nd and 3rd places for the school. Oh, and there's 4th places. I think our school has been doing good with events and stuff right now.
So I'm gonna have Korina and Jaelynn go ahead and an opportunity together, right? To go ahead and if there's anything that you want to promote, any cool stuff, or give props out to your classmates, or anything you want to do, I'm gonna give you that opportunity right now. Go and do so.
We the 7th and 8th graders. So we do this thing called STEM Scopes.
Okay.
That is run by our teacher, Mr. Okuley.
Yes.
And so the way how STEM Scopes work is
it's just this fun way of learning science. So STEM Scopes provides boxes when you do STEM Scopes, and there's a bunch of experiments for us to learn about. So right now we're learning about density and volume and mass. So they have a bunch of beakers and scales, and we learn about how density works, solubility, and flammability.
Nice.
So there was this one time when we were doing STEM Scopes where we got to light stuff on fire, very cautiously though. Mr. Okuley supervised us, and we tested to see if something was flammable or not.
Nice.
So for example, we did rubbing alcohol, which yes, that is very flammable.
Yes.
Vinegar is not flammable, nor water, of course. And
and definitely not corn syrup.
Corn syrup is not flammable. No.
Okay. That might be, you know what? I might have you guys get together because that might be a good blog post for the website. But I think it's found in some of the stuff that we
Could you repeat that, please?
Oh yeah. So the I think my data connection. Okay. So the question is, I think I might have you guys do a blog post or write something up for the website, because I think if, like you said, corn syrup isn't flammable, but I think we find it in some of the stuff that we eat or in some of the foods. So that would be an interesting thing to get a blog post about, I guess, to go in details from a student point of view. That would be pretty interesting. All right, here you go. So again, thanks to our 4 amazing St. Michael Academy students for sharing their outtakes on what it's like to be a student at St. Michael's from their point of view. If you do come on campus to go visit them, make sure you give them a shout out, say what's up. Tell them thanks for taking time out to do the video. Everybody else, have a amazing week. God bless. And Mr. Okuley, I think you're out on the side. Big props. Thank you so much for allowing students to go record in your classroom, and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all. Take care.
Bye.
You do.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the SMA Audio Experience Podcast, brought to you by St. Michael's San Diego's Technology and Social Media team. For more information, go ahead and visit our website at www.smasandiego.org. On Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, we use the common handle or username of SMA San Diego. So you can definitely reach out to us there, leave a tweet, a message, a post, a comment. We'll be happy to engage with you, answer all your questions, and really join in part of sharing the St. Michael San Diego story on social media and on the internet, and also via the podcast. So thanks again for listening. Take care, and we'll hear you next week.